So I'm revisiting a video I made almost a year ago, I think. I don't know if it was a year ago. Anyway, it was a while ago when I was kind of new to shooting with the Osmo Pocket 3. And I talked a little bit about focus breathing, and I did a little test where I put the Leatherman, close to the lens like this and then pull it away. And you can see how when the Pocket 3 focuses on the object close to the camera and then refocuses back on the subject that's farther away from the camera, there's a zoom in, zoom out effect. And it's an issue to some people. It's not an issue for others, but for me, it was kind of a big deal. And that's why I tended to kind of revert to shooting more with my Sony ZV-1, which is a camera I'm shooting with right next to the Pocket 3. And the reason is whether you're in product showcase mode on the Sony or even just regular, face detect continuous autofocus, when you put something close to the lens like this, it will focus on it. And then when it racks back to a subject farther away, there's no zoom in, zoom out. There's no frame change on the edges there. So if you look at the stuff that's on the edges of the frame, when I put the Leatherman close to the lens, albeit it's focusing a lot slower because I have my autofocus speed set a little slower because that's just the way I like it. I feel like it looks more cinematic. But if you notice when you take it away, there's no change in the frame. So I'll do it again just to show you. It'll focus on the object and then back to me. And for that reason, when I do this kind of video where I'm talking and I'm showing something, I would tend to use the ZV-1. And recently, DJI pushed out a firmware update where the focus breathing issue on the Pocket 3 allegedly has been resolved. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn that feature on, and then we're going to compare the ZV-1's focus breathing compensation. I don't actually know if the ZV-1 is using any focus breathing compensation or the lens itself just doesn't breathe. So let's do that right now. So now we have the focus breathing compensation turned on the Osmo Pocket 3. And I'm going to hold the Leatherman up again to the lens. I'm about 5 inches away from the lens right now. And I'm going to pull it away. Let's put it back up. Pull it away. So that I can see with my eyes. What else would you see with? Anyway, I can see that there's a little bit of focus breathing. If you look on the edges, like if you look to where the window is and my bags, keep an eye on those parts of the frame. Focuses on the Leatherman, moves a little bit. It's definitely better and a welcome improvement. Still not as good as the ZV-1 though. Here, I'll show you again. I mean, that's just downright cinematic. By the way, I'm shooting in D-Log M right now on the Pocket 3 and Cine 2 on the ZV-1. I do have the white balance shifted more to the greens because I find that even at the same Kelvin setting with these two cameras, I have to shift the Sony more into the greens to match it for when I color grade to make these things match. I'm not a colorist, and I'm pretty sure that they don't match up perfectly, but I find that that's how I have to adjust the ZV-1 to make them closer. But let's go back to the Pocket 3 and show it again. Definitely better. Definitely better. ZV-1. But not as good as that. But furthermore, like the Pocket 3 is meant to be, walked around with. Walked around with? But usually you're walking and talking and doing whatever, and the focus breathing is not as much of an issue unless you're showing products with like I was over there. But for the most part, I'll probably keep it on even when I'm not showing products because sometimes, like for example, so let's just say I'm trying to point at something like these brickheads here, and then my hand comes into frame. The Pocket 3 tends to focus on like whatever's there. And in the past, when I'd be showing something and my hand comes up like this, you would see that focus breathing a lot more noticeably. So let's try to see if I can. So it's there, hand comes in front, I mean, you do see it a little. If I just hold my hand there like this, of course it's gonna do it. But for the most part, if you're just pointing, oh, then there it is, and then move your hand away, not that much of an issue. Okay, so there was another part to this update, which was that the Pocket 3 has like some kind of lossless zoom. I've seen other people make videos on it. It looks pretty good. It looks better than the digital zoom that was on there previously. I don't tend to zoom too much on the Pocket 3, but that's a welcome addition. The only thing about it is that it only works in standard color 10-bit. I usually shoot in D-Log-M, so the zoom thing won't work. But as far as the focus breathing compensation, that is definitely a welcome addition and something I was complaining about previously. So I'm glad that first world problem was taken care of. I think I've rambled on long enough. I just wanted to share this little test with you, comparing my two favorite cameras, the Pocket 3 and the ZV-1. And that's all I have for today. Thanks.